Guys, hello and welcome back to the Football Rundown. We're here with the match preview today. Stockport County take on Wigan at the Edgeley Park this weekend. I was going to say the DW then, at Edgeley Park this weekend. Very much looking forward to it. Obviously, back to winning ways against Shrewsbury midweek. That 2-0 win, an important win for us really. It wasn't the best performances, but as I say, 3 points nonetheless. Ends a 4-game winless spell. Wigan obviously beat Peterborough 3-0 on Tuesday night as well, ending a spell of 3 consecutive league draws for them. Wigan have played 9 games in League One this season with 3 wins, 3 draws and 3 defeats. County have also played a game less and have managed 4 wins, 3 draws and of course the 1 defeat to Leyton Orient. County's win away extends their unbeaten league away record to 5 after losing to Wrexham on the final game of last season. The Hatters returned to Edgeley Park after 2 away games, and their last result at home was a horrible 4-1 defeat, of course, to Leyton Orient. 2 of Wigan's 3 league defeats this season have come away from home, losing 2-1 to Birmingham City and 2-0 to Reading. Both teams find themselves in the top half of the league table. We'll just have a quick look at the league table as well. Of course, Birmingham City's won their win over promotion challengers Huddersfield, means they've extended their gap at the top of the table by a further 3 points, and are now 5 points above second place Wrexham, who lost to Stevenage 1-0. Mansfield's 2-0 win over Crawley has pushed them up from 5th to 3rd in the table. Barnsley have slipped down a position in the table after drawing 2-2 with Wycombe. They now find themselves 7th in the table. Bolton's 4-2 away win over Northampton Town has seen them jump from 14th in the table to now being 11th and of course in the top half of the table. We'll have a quick look at the bottom half of the table as well, as Charlton's 3-2 defeat to Bristol Rovers has been a damaging one. Now in the bottom half of the table, they've dropped from 8th to 13th, just a place higher than County's upcoming opponents. Huddersfield and Peterborough, like Charlton, have also dropped from the top half of the table. Peterborough's 3-0 defeat to Wigan has dropped them from 11th to 16th in the table, while Huddersfield's defeat to Birmingham has seen them sink down the table to 15th. Burton and Cambridge remain winless after 8 games, as Cambridge have still only picked up 1 point yet this season. They find themselves, of course, 24th in the League One table. Then we'll just have a quick look at this weekend's League One fixtures as well. This weekend's fixtures includes a mouth-watering tie at 12:30 between Huddersfield and Barnsley at the John Smith Stadium on Sky Sports Plus. Peterborough also taking Stevenage at 12:30 as well. That is, of course, also available on Sky Sports Plus as well. Another potentially interesting fixture is Mansfield versus Blackpool. Both teams are in the top 3 in the form table in League One. Birmingham are top with 5 wins from 5. In second is Steve Bruce's Blackpool, who have taken 14 points from the last 6, while Mansfield are third with 4 wins and 1 draw from their last 5. Blackpool may just edge that one, to be honest. They've looked a little bit better over the last few weeks. And then, of course, the 3 p.m. kickoff at Edgeley Park between County and Wigan. Wigan will be looking for their first win at Edgeley Park, I believe, since February 1982. So that's their last win at Edgeley Park. But, of course, the 2 teams face each other in last season's Bristol Street Motors Trophy match at the DW Stadium. Wigan won 2-0. However, the last meeting before that came in March 2003, when they both met at Edgeley Park in a game that finished 1-1, with Andy Welsh being the scorer for County that day, in a game that fielded Dave Challoner for County, as well as Jimmy Bullard and Leighton Baines for Wigan. It must have been a young Leighton Baines back then, as early as 2003, because he went on to play for many, many years, of course, for Everton as well. The Latics have only won once in the last 5 league meetings with County, which goes far back as New Year's Day 1992. County have had 2 wins in that time, while the remaining 3 have all finished level. Then, of course, Nick Powell, of course, is on the books at Stockport County. A lot of people asking questions about him this week. Well, I have been for a few weeks, to be honest. What's happening with Nick Powell at Stockport County? No one really seems to have a real answer as to why he's not been involved in the squad. But he obviously spent time at Wigan, initially 13-14 on loan, before joining them for a second spell between 2016 and 2019. And Callum Connolly spent time on loan at Wigan twice, initially for the second half of the 16-17 season and once again during the 18-19 season. So 2 players that are familiar with Wigan Athletic. Opposition strengths, they've got Philo Asgard, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's had 2 goals in 9 League One matches so far this season, as well as Joe Hugel, who's on loan from Manchester United, also has 2 league goals to his name so far, while Dale Taylor scored his first 2 goals in the league so far this season, midweek in their 3-0 win over Peterborough. So what's the team news and the prediction like then for Stockport County? Well, I'm going to give my team what I would go with just shortly, but we are going to just go for a few things which Dave Challoner said post-match midweek. When spoke about Collar, he said he's out with a hamstring issue. He'll be returning on Thursday and will be out for 10 to 14 days, which rules him out of selection for Wigan and Wycombe. So he'll be back running, he's back training, but he won't be available for the next few games, I suspect. He also said the squad is probably too big at the minute, which isn't ideal in terms of managing it. They just have to stick with us. I've spoken to all of them. There's nothing ideal about not having them involved, but it's a decision we have to make each week. Quite interesting that, because we've obviously said why are these players not being included? Why has that player not been included? Nick Powell and Odin Bailey were two players we picked out in the live show on Tuesday evening. A lot of people asking about Odin Bailey's lack of involvement. The same with Nick Powell, and that's probably kind of your answer there a little bit. That Challoner's having difficulty managing the squad. We've got quite a lot of players fit, which isn't something we had last season. It's a luxury in one way, it's also a selection headache in another. So he's trying to find a way to balance things at the moment. And I think I said this a few weeks ago, we want our players back fit again. And then it's also going to be interesting to see how Challoner manages that. And at the moment, I think he's almost admitting that he is struggling with that, which is a good position to be in. You'd rather have too many players to pick from than not enough. And, as you say, having your hand forced by injuries. So it will be interesting to see how he manages things. It's a shame, really, that in some respects that the Bristol Street Motors Trophy is only 3 games spread out for across a few months. I mean, we don't play, but in that competition again until mid-November, so it's not like we can use that as much as we'd like to try and get minutes to these players. And that's why I think you've seen players like Fiorini come into the starting 11 in the League One games over the last few weeks. So yeah, interesting to see. Interesting that he's made that comment. Want to get your thoughts on that? What do you think about the squad size as well, and how he's managing at the moment? Are the players that you think should be getting game time aren't? Obviously, we know Nick Powell is one for some, and Odin Bailey is one for others. But maybe there's another name that that you feel isn't getting the game time that you think they should be at this point in time. Like I say, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. And then obviously Dave Challoner was asked about the players not involved. He said it's really difficult right now. We have Sam Hughes, Odin, and Powell not involved. Maka, Rydell and Noyle and now Collar are still to come back from injury. So yeah, he's basically saying, Sam Hughes is available but not playing. Same with Odin Bailey, Nick Powell as well. And then he's saying that Maka, so Southern Hales, Rydell and Noyle and now Collar as well, is still yet to come back from injury. So hopefully that'll be soon. But yeah, even as it is at the moment, he's finding it difficult to get those players in the team. So, with those players coming back as well, it's going to be even more challenging for players to get, just involved in the matchday squad, never mind the starting 11. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how he manages it. I'm looking forward to the team on Saturday. Just want to get in about Louis Barry as well, of course. Surprisingly dropped for the game midweek. He came out and spoke about that. He said that he felt under the weather, and that's why he wasn't starting. Hopefully he'll be back and feeling, up to it for the game on Saturday, because I think we'll need him. I think there's deficiencies in his game. I think we spoke about it again in the midweek show on Tuesday night, that he doesn't necessarily offer great things defensively at times, but he's a young player. That is going to happen, and the main thing is he makes up for it a lot of time by scoring goals when it matters most. So yeah, it'd be good to have him back in the starting 11 again. In fact, we'll talk about that. We're going to go with my starting 11, who I would go with. Of course, Adai in goal. Jay Mingy was on the bench and came on with a few minutes to go midweek. I'd like to see him coming up right back. I think we've really struggled in his absence. I get my words out. In his absence at right back over the last few weeks or the last month or so. So I'd be really keen to get him back in that right back position. I think Connolly did okay in midweek, but I think that Mingy is definitely a step up at the moment. It looks like Horsford and Ethan Pye, of course. Ibi Toure was dropped midweek and came on at half time. Was it half time or came on early on in the second half at least? I think it was early on in the second half. He'd go in at left back for me. Midfield's an interesting one, to be honest. I'm going to go with Oliver Norwood in midfield alongside Callum Camps and Lewis Fiorini. I thought Fiorini did okay midweek. I don't think he was absolutely out of this world, but I think with Collar's injury as well, and also the first goal I think did come from him taking the free kick in the first place. So credit where it's due, and that for me would make sure he starts that game on Saturday. Like I say, injuries with Collar not being available, it's a perfect opportunity to get Fiorini back in as well. And whilst I thought he sort of lacked fitness a little bit, it looked like against Barnsley when he came on, we've got to be giving these players minutes, and that's where I think he'll get his minutes. So Fiorini, Norwood and Camps in midfield for me. And then further up the pitch, I'd go with Jaden Fevrier on the right wing, Tanto Alafi, of course, down the middle, and no questions about it, Louis Barry on that left-hand side. So that's my team: Adai, Mingy, Horsfall, Pye, Ibi Toure, Fiorini, Norwood, Camps, Fevrier, Tanto, and Louis Barry. Let me know your thoughts on that squad, on that team selection I've gone with, of course, playing in a 4-3-3. Want to know who you would pick. Are you happy with that team I picked? What changes would you make to that team I picked as well? So yeah, I think it's really important we do get Louis Barry back in. I think it's really important we allow Tanto to start as well. Cal Woodson potentially off the bench. He didn't start midweek. I thought it was the right decision, but he did come on off the bench and have an impact by getting that second goal, which certainly, you know, put the game in our favour. There was no way back for Shrewsbury once that second one went in. So wasn't the best of performances midweek, but I'm confident with the win we got that we can go into the game on Saturday back on home soil, and hopefully against a team that has, I think, struggled a little bit this season for consistency. Perhaps we should really be looking to try and win this game. I do think we'll win the game. I am going to go with I'll go with 2-0 again. I always seem to go in with us scoring 2 at the moment. I went with 2-1 against Barnsley. I went with 2-0 midweek. We did win 2-0 midweek. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Stockport County again this weekend. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to get your thoughts, score predictions in down below as well. And also just want to mention as well, match vlog will be available. I will be there this Saturday, so keep an eye out for that one on the channel post-match as well. I want to get your thoughts in the comments section on this game. Looking forward to it. Who would you pick? Score prediction, and how do you think Dave Chalmers managing this squad issue, which he's got at the moment with so many players unable to get into the matchday squad? So yeah, I want to get all your thoughts on that. Of course, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you are new. Comments as always. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Looking forward to Saturday, and I'll see you guys in the next one.